Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of January 18th through the 24th. And during that time, we have a new moon that comes in on the 19th, and that's a really good time for fresh starts, a new beginning, good time to learn a new skill or start any of those new projects that you would like to work on, both inner and outer. Good time to make new decisions also. We then move into the waxing crescent for the rest of the week, and that's a time of heightened senses, a good time to just get buckle down and get to work on those projects that we've just started with the new moon and live up to our expectations and intentions. And we just have the energy to do that. So keep those moon energies in mind as we're moving through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So as always, Sagittarius, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is take time to breathe out. Every time I see that card, it makes me want to take a big, deep breath myself and just breathe out. Sometimes we all need that reminder, right? Life gets a little bit stressful and it's like, what's going on here? Let's just breathe a little bit. Let's breathe. And breathing out, very important. As I'm shuffling the tarot, I would like to say that my fun weekly reminder this week is that you learn a new something. Just learn something new this week. It's it's a good time with the moon energy being what it is, but pick a topic that has been kind of, maybe on the periphery, something that you've thought, oh, I'm kind of curious about that. Find one of those topics and just do a deep dive. Give yourself a couple hours this week to maybe read a book, watch a lecture, just do a little digging, a little research, and then just really absorb the information. You might want to take some notes, study and just really just get to a place where you're, oh, okay, now I know that thing. So just sometimes as adults, we forget to really deep dive on things. I feel like I'm learning new things every day, but is it something just trivial? Like, do I really need to know it? And there's still things that I'm very interested in. So I try to learn something. And so good time to learn something new. That's just my fun weekly reminder for you. If you do take that time and you care to share, drop a comment down below and let me know what you did learn this week. So, all right, Sagittarius, let's get right into this reading. January 18th through the 24th. Take the time to breathe out. Your present energy right now is the Seven of Cups. So it looks like you're sitting in a place where there's lots of choices to be made. Might just have a lot of going on. Maybe that's why you do need to breathe out. It's like, oh, okay, another thing I have to decide. Life just does that sometimes. If you're feeling overwhelmed, breathe out. Maybe go off, do a little meditation. Pen and paper sometimes help if you need to make lists. If, there's a lot of choices. Just sometimes if you break things down into smaller portions, smaller little projects, it gets a little easier to manage. So keep that in mind and find a way to get through that. Your current situation right now is the Eight of Cups. So you've got the seven, all these choices, and what those choices are leading you to really kind of move off and venture off into a new way of doing things. And you've got some support there at your back. So whatever those choices are, I think they're going to be good choices for you. You're thinking about choices that you're making for your immediate and maybe even long-term future. At the root of this situation is the Queen of Wands. So you are definitely in a place where you're understanding what drives you in the passion realm about whatever it is that you're making choices about. And that's going to drive your choices as well, right? Does this thing fire me up? If it doesn't, don't choose it. And if it's something that you have to do, find a way to make it just quick and painless. I always think this about life things is all of a sudden something creeps on you and something's kind of just becoming more and more of a chore. And I'll look around and go, why am I doing this particular thing? So do I need to do it? Do I have to do it? Is it a chore? And if it is, don't do it unless it's something that you do have to do. And then try to find a way to make your chores easy or more fun, right? In your recent past, here is the Ace of Pentacles. So, some new financial opportunity has maybe come in. Maybe there's been some sort of change in your job and it has led to different choices. And maybe you just have more of a choice. You've got, that's a luxury. I always say choices are a luxury. The more choices you have, the more luxury it is. If you're limited to, um, to a certain amount of things that you just have to do because you have no choice. That's not a luxury, but having choice and being able to make decisions on how, when, and why you do things, that's definitely a luxury. What is on your mind this week is the Queen of Pentacles. So we've got the Queen of Wands here at the root of this, but it's Queen of Pentacles. So maybe you're feeling like, this, the Queen of Pentacles is someone who understands the material world, how it works. This is someone who does things in a very elegant, dignified way, someone who, is knows what they're worth and knows their personal worth. So, make sure that you're making decisions in that realm. I feel like that's kind of where you are right now. And that's just having a really good understanding of how the material world, how money, things like that, how things work. The Queen of Pentacles is also really good at delegating. So if you feel like you're having too many choices, maybe it is time to kind of sit down and redivide up different things that need to be done in and around you, whether it's at work or at home. And make sure that some of those things, make sure you're not trying to take on too much yourself and that you're able to delegate some of those things as well. All right, what is just ahead of you this week is the King of Cups. Look at all of these, all the royalty happening in all these different realms. So, King of Cups is definitely knowledge of emotional things and what drives us emotionally. So, you're understanding things that drive your passion. You're understanding, the way that you're driven in the financial and material realm. But now, on top of it, and more importantly, is what's really going to drive you emotionally and how are you making decisions based on all of those things. And anytime we're talking about royalty, a lot of times that could mean there's other people involved in things that are going on in your life also. It's about you understanding the other people in your life. How do your decisions and the things that you do affect your constituents, the people around you? How do your emotions affect those people? And this could be people in your family. This could be your spouse, people that you work with. How do your passions affect those people? A lot of times it's a lot of working together with things and supporting each other. Making sure that you're getting the support you need, but also supporting other people as well. So that is just ahead of you, is to really just kind of, King of Cups is like so in control of their emotions. It's someone who is very calming, someone who's very genuine, someone who is just friendly and open, and you're there to give advice to others, but also be a really, really great example. In your advice position, Sagittarius, is the Five of Swords here. So, Five of Swords can be about a little bit of conflict, but I just always see this as really kind of saying the thing that needs to be said. It's uncomfortable. Someone's going to get their feelings hurt. You're going to have people who are not happy about things that you say, or this could be you. It could be things that other people are saying, but they're things that need to be said. And, we all have those phases where we go through where we do have to turn around and say something to someone that's just not that uncomfortable to do. And maybe it hurts their feelings, and maybe they don't understand it now. Maybe in the future they will, but sometimes it just needs to be said. So I also feel like with this card, it is about saying those things and expressing yourself, but it's also maybe not saying everything and saying it in the kindest, most emotionally level way, like the king would. The king who is definitely, so calm and again friendly, and you want to say things in a genuine way. And that's the advice there. Okay, what is beyond your control this week is that maybe doing that just leads to the 10 of Cups. Happy family, and it's beyond your control to really guard this. This could be about extended family, and you're guarding your family, right? That's something that people face. But if the thing needs to be said, it needs to be said. That's all you can do. And it looks like you're thinking about everybody. And I'm gonna say you can't please everyone. You just can't. We all, maybe you've tried to do that. You just can't. You need to think about, prioritize. If you've got all these choices here, again, pen to paper. What's the most important? What's the most important? What drives your passion? What drives your material world? What drives your emotional world? All right. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the devil. You're not the only one avoiding the devil. In fact, what was the reading I just did? It was Scorpio. Scorpio also, same exact position. So through all of this and through whatever conflict or things that you have going on this week, there's a devil on your shoulder. Maybe telling you false truths, maybe, putting some self-doubt in there. This could also be the card of dependency. Might be some issue here that you're dealing with when it comes to that. That could definitely be there. But again, that devil, I just always hope that the angel's on the other side, saying those positive things and those reassuring things. And don't let that devil get into your ear and affect you too much, because you're shooting for this happy family, right? You're shooting for, making the right choices. And that's the devil gets in there and says, you really want to choose that? Is that really the way you want to go? And it's like, it just gets confusing. So make sure that you are clear of mind. And I'm going to say once again, breathe out. Don't get too excited. Breathe it out, right? Breathe out, and you will make the right decisions, and you'll know intuitively what those decisions might be. In your outcome position is the Four of Wands. So I think by the end of this, you're definitely in celebratory mode, and we're back to being happy. This little bit of conflict that comes in, it might just be frustrating, and maybe it's just for a day or so in the middle of your week where you're like, I can't believe I'm dealing with this again. That's almost the feeling that I'm getting. So just get through it. Again, breathe out, big breath in, breathe out. You are going to get through it. What is hidden from you this week, Sagittarius, is the Ace of Cups. So this is just overflowing love and joy and happiness. And I'm sensing a little bit of frustration on your part this week. So that might be a little harder for you. I mean, you're definitely, in this King of Cups balanced place, but I almost feel like this is through kind of gritted teeth. Like, I'm going to be kind about this. Kind of that feeling. It's not so flowy and lovey that it's just, that flowy and lovey. It's just very kind of balanced and maintained. I hope that makes sense. All right, let's get a final word here for Sagittarius. I was thinking about Scorpio with their devil card in the same place. And if you know a Scorpio, you may, if you have one close to you in your life, you may want to go watch their reading as well and see if it has any bearing on your life this week, right? All right, final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. As Sagittarius kind of confronts this, I feel like a lot of these are just confronting your inner feelings about some things and how it affects your ultimate happiness there. All right. Final message for Sagittarius is rejuvenate. Take a breath, breathe out, rejuvenate yourself. Maybe this situation does call for just meditation, maybe just a bubble bath, even. See what your self-care card says about that this week. Self-care this week for Sagittarius. Self-care for Sagittarius. And the card that you get is the card that says peace. Just because some people are fueled by drama doesn't mean you have to attend the performance. Make your life a drama-free zone. Wow, here's the drama, and everything else is the drama-free zone. And I just feel the battle. I feel the battle. Like I said, you're being very calm emotionally, but it's almost through your teeth gritting. Like, I'm not going to get upset about it. We're going to get through this, so just don't let that devil take over. And, maybe with this too, stop and learn the lesson. Stop and learn the lesson so that it just doesn't keep getting brought back up and up and up. And you do that by trying to find that original core wound. What is the thing that this Five of Swords brings up? What is that original core wound? Go back, meditate, go back to your inner child, from way back when. When's the first time you felt that? That's who needs to heal. That's who needs to heal. Once you heal that, this stops being important. You stop getting presented with it over and over and over. Go heal that core wound. So, Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use for your week this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if this reading resonated with you. Also, what was I going to say? Oh, if you want to leave a comment. Oh, that's what I was saying. I'm sorry. I kind of drifted off there. If you want to leave me a comment, let me know if this resonated with you. Oh, I was going to say, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those for you as well. So I wish you the best of luck with all of this, and I will see you next week, Sagittarius. Take care. Bye-bye.